tragically lost his life, who tragically lost his life on the 5th of June 2019. The incident took place in the Beacon Hill area. That's a very busy tourist area, and that is when the gentleman by the name of Sylvain Valade, during an armed robbery, was shot and tragically lost his life. So with that, I would like to say that we have been working quite diligently to help solve this very horrendous case, and we want to tell you that we at this time have arrested 3 suspects in this case, and the investigation into this matter is definitely ongoing.
Today brings a sense of closure to our community and to the Valade family. It is our hope that their capture will provide some solace to the family and friends of the victim who ultimately lost his life as a result of this senseless and merciless act of violence. As a father, I can understand the instinctive nature of a man to protect his daughter. It is also my hope that this capture and the capture of anyone breaking our laws brings solace to our entire community. Justice is when we never have another death caused by those with malintent. That is all our responsibility, and it requires us to change our perspective. Understanding the negative impact of any violent action to anyone in our community or visiting our friendly island highlights the changes we all have to make. It is in our power to make the necessary changes. Justice means that there should never be another tragedy that befell the Valade family, the Jones family, and the Natasha Smith family. We must have a common goal. We should never allow tragedies like this to happen when we have the power to act and to prevent. St. Martin should never be put through this. We should never lose another innocent man, woman, or child. It is in our power to make that change. Today begins the process of restoring some faith and people believing in accountability. We have our work to do, and I assure you, the public, that every life is sacred, whether it is a tourist or a resident. We must value life. My deepest respect and gratitude goes out to those sitting here, to the St. Martin Police Force, the Detective Department, the Prosecutor's Office, and all those who worked with them to bring closure to this case. As they continue to work to make our island a safe and welcoming place for its residents and visitors alike. Safety and security can only work when we all work together. I want to just end by saying, of course, this is an ongoing legal matter, so there's very little that I will add to my statement.
On June 5th of this year, the family of Sylvain Valade suffered a horrific loss of their loved one while vacationing here on our island. The news shocked all of us, and today still pains us as we recall the events that unfolded on June 5th. Nothing can take away the pain from the loss that the family has suffered. To have it occur at all is beyond words. And to have it happen here on our shores, where we welcome and embrace all visitors from around the world each year, is equally unacceptable. No one should have to ever worry about their safety while on our island and visiting our shores. I hope that the news of the capture and arrest of the suspects can bring some degree of comfort in the knowledge that they will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Our country mourns with you still today and will be unrelenting in the pursuit of justice. I want to thank the many people who made an effort in one way or another to offer some comfort to the family in their time of mourning. I think the police also deserve to be highly commended for their swift work. In times like these, there is no right set of words that can be used to comfort the grieving family and friends. While you mourn, however, know that we mourn with you and pray that God will grant you the strength and peace as you carry on the memory of your loved one. St. Martin has been known for its hospitality and is a preferred vacation destination for travelers around the world. This swift action by the police helps to reinstore the confidence in our destination.
I want to make perfectly clear. For me, it's not relevant right now on whom was detained, when they was detained. It's relevant that all law enforcement of St. Martin came together, and I'm speaking of all law enforcement, I'm speaking on our French counterparts, I'm speaking on the police force of St. Martin, RST, all law enforcement came together to make this possible. And again, please give us the chance to finalize the formal part of the investigation, and we'll get back to you with more information.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
A meeting was held to deal with the position of the chairperson of the General Audit Chamber. Now, what is this particular matter doing at Parliament? Parliament has to, based on recommendations by the General Audit Chamber, make a proposal to the governor of 2 persons who can fill the position of chairperson. We're talking of the board of the General Audit Chamber. So the recommendation that came from the chamber had 3 nominees. From that, the Parliament is going to be asked to choose 2 of the nominees and forward these for the final appointment by the governor. So that meeting is going to take place on Monday. During that same meeting, we will also be having the discussion that has been ongoing for some time, and that has to do with the matter of Par Latino participation and travel. To give you some history behind this particular item, Par Latino, you would recall that it was in 2017 on recommendation of MP Irian at the time. A motion was passed in Parliament to suspend travel to Par Latino meetings for 1 year. At that time, by the way the motion was carried,
I'm not sure I understand.
and at that time the motion was carried, as I mentioned, and it was to be for 1 year. And one of the reasons given for the proposal to stop the travel to Par Latino for the period of a year had to do with the financial situation of the country. The year, of course, is past, and since then the discussion has been taking place about the added value of Par Latino meetings for the Parliament of St. Martin. Two issues play a role there. One, the discussion regarding as I mentioned, as I called it, the added value of Par Latino versus other possibilities for the Parliament of St. Martin to be part of regional parliamentary consultations. That's one item that has been discussed, as well as the matter of the attending of meetings of Par Latino. Par Latino has a structure that has an executive board consisting of the presidents of parliaments of all of the countries associated with Par Latino. Outside of that, Par Latino has several committees, and members of the parliaments, including St. Martin Parliament, are member of these Par Latino committees. So while we have been discussing in the context of the faction leaders meeting, etc., the added value of Par Latino and whether the possibility is there for another organization that St. Martin's Parliament can be part of, now you have two proposals coming from members of Parliament. One is that now we lift the travel ban on Par Latino, and on the other hand, there are some members of Parliament who are in favor of maintaining the very restricted travel to Par Latino. In other words, only to travel to board of directors meetings of Par Latino. So this particular matter, which way do we go, is also going to be on the agenda for Monday. That's going to be Monday morning, and then we continue with the Central Committee meeting that started with respect to the 3 draft laws presented by the government. And these 3 draft laws are our Civil Code, our Criminal Code, and our Criminal Procedure Code. These are laws, these are existing laws that the government, and in particular the Minister of Justice, has amended because of the CFATF regulations and recommendations. A lot has been said about this particular matter in the past. We have had many discussions on earlier laws, different laws that have been amended in order to accommodate the recommendations of the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force. However, some of the remaining recommendations that need to be met, that St. Martin needs to comply with, need to be amended, need to be brought into the codes that I just mentioned. However, in perusing these 3 draft ordinances, the Civil Code, the Criminal Code, and the Criminal Procedure Code, what I have determined is that in addition to the recommendations by the CFATF, we also have other changes that are being brought into these codes while the amendment, since the amendment has been submitted, or in the amendment that has been submitted to Parliament. So we have had the initial discussion in Central Committee on the matter. The Minister is to return on Monday and provide answers to the questions by members of Parliament on this matter so that the process could continue. One of the concerns that I have with the drafts that are before us at this time is the lack of time for the government to have done some of the recommended due diligence that has been recommended by our own Council of Advice. So while the Council of Advice of St. Martin underscores the need for St. Martin to be compliant, they have expressed in their advice to government, they have expressed some concerns with respect to some of the measures that are being proposed in these changes, and have suggested to the government that the government have these further researched and further analyzed as to their effects on St. Martin.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Wib now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Windward Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
We requested a meeting with the Bankers Association because, Stephen, I think it's high time that this organization really come and explain a number of issues that's happening here in St. Martin. I think the Bankers Association now have overreached, and they have reached to a level where they are abusing their authority and power and going beyond the realms of what the central bank and ordinances and law subscribe or prescribe should be done, especially in terms of when it comes to updating files and information that one should bring into the bank to update their files. In addition to that, we have seen that over the years that banking on St. Martin has become very difficult, very stringent, very, conditioned. And the banks themselves, they themselves are not doing it in a manner where they sort of care for the general public. There's long lines, and then you're only seeing two tellers, and you can't really get a good communication with the bank at all. And I am very, very much peeved with the information that banks are requested, especially Windward Island Bank, when it comes to updating one file. Now, I understand as a member of parliament, as a politician, I am upset, but I am saying to the bank that the information that we are requesting is private information, and citizens in this country has a right to privacy, and the bank stance is sort of arrogant, it's sort of bullying, and I am not too pleased whatsoever the manner in which banks treat people. It takes you weeks to open a simple bank account, okay? And again, the manner in which seniors are treated. Even, there's a lot of issues that the banks need to come and talk about. But not only the bank, also the central bank. And then what you get from the banks is that they are following their creditors and their Canadian conglomerates. But I'm saying to myself, it is not my concern what conditions and laws and rules you have to follow with the Canadian branch of the Trinidad branch. We have to follow the rules and regulations set forth by Parliament and by the central bank here in St. Martin. So whatever conditions you have to follow with Canada, that's you and Canada. But don't come and put those conditions on me. That's what I'm saying. In St. Martin, regulation to the banks in St. Martin is done by the central bank of St. Martin and Curacao, not the Central Bank of Canada, not the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, not the Central Bank of Barbados, not the Central Bank of Jamaica, not the Central Bank of the Cayman Islands. And those rules they're implementing here in St. Martin. In addition to that, we ourselves as our people who have been in the banking sector for years, it is time they step up and stop taking this layback affair when it comes to the management positions in this country. Because what we get is managers that come from all these other islands and they come to St. Martin with their arrogance. They come to St. Martin as if they are better than us. And why do they feel that way? They feel that way because our bankers here in St. Martin, our people who have been in the banking industry for years, take this layback affair and don't want to take up responsibility of leading banks in St. Martin. So yes, the Bankers Association need to come in and answer a lot of questions in the manner in which they're taking advantage of St. Martin clients, St. Martin people, and simply doing business in this country that is stifling our economy.
We have the Emergency Project 1 activities are still ongoing under the Private and Social Home Repair Program. Repairs to the first batch of 14 seriously damaged homes has started and is progressing well. 26 homes with minor repairs has been technically assessed, and the NRPB director has informed that the awarded contracts for the supervising engineers and the main contractor, both local companies, will be signed within a few days. The principal aspects to these minor repairs are mainly repairs to the roofs, replacements of windows and doors. These works will be executed with minimal inconvenience to the homeowners where possible. The bidding process for the remaining homes, or those who have qualified for repairs, is still ongoing. The Bureau will be issuing a separate press release to inform the general public on the process. The emergency repairs to the social housing managed by the St. Martin Housing Development Foundation is also nearing its completion. As everyone is aware, resources from the trust fund through the NRPB has been allocated to this project. In addition to the financial reimbursement to the St. Martin Housing Development Foundation for expenditures related to hurricane repairs that were executed from their operational budget. As it relates to shelters, I was also informed that the director of the National Recovery Program Bureau will be signing the contract with the supervising engineer firm and main contractor for the repairs and improvements of 13 shelters, 8 main shelters, and 5 recovery shelters. These works will immediately commence. The Ministry of VROMI has played a critical role in this process, and I thank them for this. The NRPB is also finalizing the contracts for the repairs of the radio sound building. It is expected that the contract will be signed within a week. Once started, the works on this critical building should be completed swiftly. The preparations of Phase 2, or the second phase of the repair of the Phillipsburg and Simpson Bay police stations, has started. This phase concerns the repairs of the roofs and ceilings, interior walls, and is funded by the trust fund. During these repairs, the electrical and mechanical installation of both stations will also be redesigned and installed. However, the funding for these works are from the insurance proceeds, and the Ministry of Romi is responsible for these works. A total number of 136 new firefighter suits for St. Martin Fire Brigade have been ordered. And finally, the NRPB has informed that its official website will go live this week. You can find details and progress of the trust fund projects, active and upcoming tenders, in addition to the information on events and much more. I encourage everyone to log on and keep abreast with the happenings of our recovery process. As it relates to VSA, I have the following information. ESF 7, which is public health, have the following tips for hurricane preparedness for families. For this season, we are urging the public to also ensure that they are storm ready. And some tips are to stock up on essential emergency supplies for each member of your household for a minimum of 10 days. 4 liter to 1 gallon or 1 gallon of water per person per day for drinking, cooking, and sanitation. Non-perishable foods such as canned items, baby food, Pampers and formula and wipes, hygiene, cleaning products, medications, prescription drugs, etc. A more detailed list can be found on the government webpage, www.stmartingov.org, or via our new app. Family evacuation and communication plan needs to be in place. Pre-packed emergency evacuation bag for each member of the household. An evacuation bag should include 1 to 2 bottles of water, depending on the person's ability to carry supplies, non-perishable snacks, emergency contact lists, wipes, tissues, change of clothes, including socks and flashlights, prescribed medication and medical supplies such as inhalers, glucose and blood pressure monitoring equipment and supplies. The most fit member of the family should hold a larger bag, which includes more water and food, clothes, first aid kit, and important documents.